Welcome to this look at a new mod pack on Farming Simulator 19 with me, MrSealyp. It's the bottom of the ninth, the score is tied and it's time for the big one. This is the NML PLACEABLES pack by Alien Jim. This isn't, this is a Land Rover. 124.99 megabytes to download, and before you immediately turn off, it is the pack. I mean, absolutely. Now, I'm on Big Fields Farm, so the No Man's Land updates that Jim has been doing to No Man's Land map with all the various different placeables that are available on No Man's Land, he has now made that pack available for anywhere. 150 plus items in this pack. I make it 154, but I could have miscounted. I make it 154, and I've gone about this a slightly different way to usual. I'm going to show you them all. It's going to start raining, and you know what's going to happen. It's going to start raining before I get a chance to. I'm going to show you them all in the store. We'll talk about them briefly. Then I've used, I think, nearly everything. You'll see. Kind of like a map tour in a way. So let's get cracking. If we go into our menu and go along to our placeables, I'm going to start with silos. Now, as far as slot counts go, they vary. But when I say vary, under silos, we've got 13 placeables. They range from 1 to 3 slots. That's it. The maximum is going to be 3 slots. Because I've placed almost everything, they're all going to say, I think, 1. But 1 to 3 slots. Nothing massive that's going to, cause you any grief as far as slot counts go. Jim is the master at optimizing them. So, under silos, we go across until we get to anything that says AJ Tech. So we've got the small BGA. Placeable BGA pays out at midnight. We've got BGA extension tanks. That's for your digestate that comes out, 200,000 litre tank. So the more of those you've got, the more digestate can be stored as the byproduct from putting into the BGA. Now, there are 150. I can't test all of these. I'm not sure what the flow rate is. I do have it placed, so I should be able to tell you what it will take. We'll have a look at that in just a second as well. So we've got those. We've got the grain silo, 200,000 litre capacity, regular grain crops, grain silo extension, which extends by 100,000 litres for each one of those you place. Prices aren't off the charts either for any of these things. Then we've got liquid storage. That will hold water, milk, slurry and digestate, 300,000 litres. Extension, 100,000 litres to go with those. Then we've got sell points. Now, we've got sell points on their own, and what I love about this pack, what I love about what Jim did and has done, there are loads of placeable buildings, and then you can place the buildings and then put sell points with them. So you can have it as a somewhere to go to sell your stuff, or just have the building, or just have the sell point, or mix and match. There are some buildings that have a sell point already on them, but there is this ability to kind of play around with various different things. So we have got a sweet shop sell point. We'll take regular crop types. We've got windmill, which takes more of the grain types. Bakery, which will take eggs and milk on top. We've got dairy, which just does eggs and milk. Root crops, which obviously just does the root crops. Potato, sugar beet and sugar cane. We've got garden centre, which takes main cereal crops and takes sugar cane. And the local inn, which takes pretty much anything that you can distill, I think, looking at that. So as far as silos go, that's what we've got available in silos. Next, we've got sheds. Under sheds, we've got 3 of the placeables in here, 1 and 2 slots for these. I think there's only 3. So we go across, we've got the old bale shelter for £5,000, old rundown shelter for 15, and the warehouse, which is huge, for 35,000. So that's what we've got available under sheds. Next, we've got farmhouses. Now, these 2 come with this map. So we have got the farmhouse doormat, which is, for me, is the sleep trigger. I use that everywhere because it is just so useful, and it can be placed so close to any other building that makes anything a sleep trigger. Now, the farmhouse is the one that, across all of the mods, all 154, has got the highest slot count at 7. And it is incredibly detailed. And then we got a regular farmhouse. So the log cabin farmhouse and the regular one. So as you can see, 7 is the highest of any of these mods in this mod pack. Then we come out and we're going to go to next is miscellaneous. I'm just working up to the decorations has got 119 mods in it on its own. So if we go across till we get to AJ Tech, we've got lemon greenhouse and we've got the tomato greenhouse. Now the payments out for these, I've got this on normal economy. That's saying 500. Easy, it's going to be more than that. It doesn't say on the actual what you call it, what it is. Although I suppose I could double check that. We've got lemon greenhouse, tomato greenhouse. You put manure, you put water, they will grow. You get paid per hour. That's how it works. If I change, actually, you know what? I'll do that in a little while. What I'll do actually now, I'll put it up on the screen. I'll check those. I'll put up on the screen what it pays. All I've got to do is change the economy setting, haven't I? And it will tell me what that will pay out. So we've got those. We've got the sawmill, which is a sell point for your lumber. We've got an old nightlight. Now, I don't think I've used any of those. Should have done really, but I haven't used any of those. We've got a straw barn, which has got the sell point triggers out the front. Or is that? I'm sure it's a sell point. It doesn't show an amount for storage. We've got a spinnery. We've got a snack stand. Now, those are sell points. We've got snack stand, ice cream cart, watermill. Watermill pays out per hour. Oh, hang on. Was I just being blind then? Oh, no, that's interesting. See, those two, the greenhouses don't say, but when you get to these, down the bottom, it says income per hour. So 90, 45 and 10. So 90 on easy, 45 on normal, 10 on hard. 90, 45, 10. The windmill, wind turbine is 1,000, 500 and 250. I would imagine that's what the greenhouses are as well then. We've then got the water station where you can get fresh water. The windmill pays out 1,500 and 250. The radio tower, 2,000, 1,500. That only costs 40 grand, and it is an absolute beast. You will see that. Wood chip sell point, so that can go with your sawmill or its own. Wood crusher, which is a direct sell point. Now that's all in that little building, and you can put logs directly onto that. And rather than just have the wood chipper that sells directly, it's got the building with it, which is very nice indeed. Sells directly. Vehicle workshop. Then we got onto these. Industrial selling station. That will sell potatoes, sugar beet and sugar cane, and it is huge with jets of water running down, and you tip into it whichever way you want, but it's a massive, massive building. So under miscellaneous, that's all of those. And there are, like I said, there's quite a few sell points on top of the other sell points we already had under silos. And then we come on to decoration. And decoration... This was one that was added late on No Man's Land, and I loved this, the bridge. So if you're doing any sort of landscaping, and what I love about it, often you do landscaping and it won't let you place things where you've done landscaping. My advice, if you're going to do a trench or a hole or a river, do that first, then place this. If you place it first, it then won't let you landscape underneath it. But you've got a bridge, which is brilliant. Beach tent, camping tent, we've got a big factory, castle ruin, 3 fence sections, quite a few different log stacks, and again, maximum on these I think is again for the log cabin, which is 7 slots, and I think the next one down from that is 5. So yeah, we've got a bench, garden centre, metal shed, then we've got a couple of hedges that can be placed. There you go, the log cabin, old wooden house. So these two are farmhouses as well, under farmhouses, but they are separate as decoration. Then we've got a whole lot of different houses: brickstone, light brown house, old red brick. Then we've got a few for Mercury Farms. Then we've got the local inn, which you can then put the local inn sell point with if you want to match them up. We've got apartment building, offices, hunting hut, lookout. Then we've got a selection of rocks. So we've got buildings, we've got sell points, we've got decorative objects in so much as landscaping type things. Quite a few different rocks. We've got a rowing boat. Blue iron barrels, rusty green iron barrels. We've got small wooden and large wooden. They go well with the inn. You can put them at the local inn or wherever you want to put them. Now they can be picked up. I'm not sure about the barrels and the bags. I haven't tried those yet. We've got trash bags, wheelie bins, waste carts, trash containers for your larger buildings, fire tools, and then we've got a selection of garden sheds in different colours. Wooden shed small, wooden shed medium, wooden shed large. Silo bin. That's just decorative, doesn't actually hold anything. Small office 2, sweet shop, which can go with the sweet shop sell point, parking lines. So if you are setting something up, you can have parking outside, which you'll see. Now the road markings I haven't used many of. I think I used a couple of strips of the road markings times 10. Now you can do them individually, which is probably a little bit easier, but your roads do need to be fairly flat, I've found. We have got a 45-degree turn T junction, so you can do. Then we're on to placeable vehicles. And again, the slot counts on these are so low, you can add them onto a map for a bit of added decoration of what you've done. But we've got a scooter, parked vehicles 1 through 6. Then we've got a white van, tipper truck, box van, flatbed, MrSealyp green, very nice. Flatbed truck loaded, cement lorry, dump truck, semi-trailer, caravan, camper, camping trailer. Then we've got wheel loader, excavator, and then we've got old junk vehicles. So we've got a junk tractor. I mean, so you can have that in the long grass up in the tree. You know, I love it. I think it's such a brilliant pack. Harvester, pickup, fuel truck, junk bus, fire truck. Then we've got a few different containers in different colours. One opened, then a yellow. Broken watermill. I don't think I used that. Then we've got plastic table set, wooden outhouse. Old Euro pallets, cargo box 1 and 2. Log piles, if you want to have those where you're doing your logging or where your sawmill is, you can do that. Wood stacks for the finished products. Then we've got some flower pots, nice options. Playground, basketball court, I think that's another one I probably didn't use. But the basketball court is very nice with a basketball. Then we got into the industrial buildings, and these are huge. But again, price is not too expensive, and nor the slot counts. Industrial big building, bridged building, industrial centrifuge, industrial clarification tank, high connected building, industrial low connected building, evapco towers, gantry building, industrial small building, medium building, large building, industrial small tank, and that, believe it or not, was 119. So that brings us to 154 mods. Now, I honestly, there was a bit of a, it was kind of amusing. I was talking to Jim yesterday and Big Daddy. Big Daddy and Jim had a bet to see how I was going to go about doing this. Was I going to put this mod review in with the regular mod review, or was I going to do it separately? Jim thought I'd just roll it up into one. Big Daddy was convinced I was going to do it separately, so Big Daddy won the bet. But then even then I was thinking, how do I do 150 mods? How do I show them off? So this is what I decided to do before it rains. I've set myself up a little sort of town. Now, I'm not a map maker, and this is not going to be the best you've ever seen. Bushes and things I have used from the map, but off to my left, I've set up a bakery. So we've got one of the... Now, everything, all of the buildings, everything you will see here is all from this pack, everything. So I'm not going to run through what they're all called. We've just looked at them all. But we've got vans out the front, we've got scooters, we've got a sell point. That's what I've decided. That's my bakery. That's the bakery sell point. And we come across here. I've used the bridge with a bit of ornamentation around it. The bridge is just, I love that. I think it's absolutely fantastic. Got some of the wood stacks off to the right, some of the wooden buildings. It was just to kind of show how to use them, or how the sort of what they look like. I did use the white line down the middle of the road here, but I think it's the only place I used it. Then I've set up the garden centre. The garden centre, I've used some of the tents, I've used the sheds, I've used flower boxes. I've used some of the cargo containers. They're all placed very nicely. I've then used some of the hedges either side, and then some of the map terrain. I've then got the garden centre sell point around the back, and the greenhouses. And the greenhouses, you put the manure in, you put the water in, you'll get them growing, you'll get your money per hour. So I've got the lemon ones and the tomato ones around the back. That's kind of linked up. The bakery over there. Got some apartment buildings, which we're going to get to in a minute. Got some of the placeable lorries that have turned up at the garden centre to collect some stuff. Now, I could have put some parking at the front there, but I've done some in various places. I've got a little lane down the side here with some of the houses, the placeable houses. Now, the lane goes out from the end, and we've got some of the silos, and we've got the windmill section with the windmill sell point just here. That's silos for storage, so anything you can store and then sell when the sell points prices are good. Actually, while we're here, nice sound effects as well from those. let's just check. Yeah, so as we go down now, you've got the ones that are for the map, then we've got the ones that I've added in. So we've got obviously 2 bakeries, but we've now got biogas plants. There are 2, but Jim's, I'm pretty sure, is the one that takes all that stuff. Potato, sugar beet and sugar cane. There's a way to sort that out. Hang on just a second. Sold the other one. Yeah, so Jim's biogas plant will take potatoes, sugar beet, sugar cane. It says 0 there for milk. Why would the biogas plant take milk? That's weird. 720 for silage, 720 for manure. Pays out pretty good. We've then got the garden centre sell point. Prices, you know, vary, but it then gives you a hold over. You've got industrial selling station, which is a root crop one. We've got the local inn, sawmill, spinnery's been added in. So yeah, all those sell points are sell points. They all, you know, they work, which is rather cool. So coming back out to here, I honestly wish I had the time and the know-how. I've used some of the fencing bits here with hedges and then a bit of the greenery in between. Sometimes they don't line up perfectly or right next to each other, but if you've got a map that's got a bit of kind of hedges as the landscaping, you can just put a bit of hedge in between and it kind of fills the gaps if you've got any gaps. Turn the corner and we've got the local pub. Now as you can see, because the road's not flat, that's what I mean about I'm not a map maker, because the map bends away, it needs to be flat for the road markings. That's why I didn't use many of them. That one I just didn't sit it down enough and I should have done. But anyway, regards to that, local inn, very nice. We've got one of the placeables here with a couple of barrels on the back. Like I said, the barrels you can pick up, so you can kind of simulate, you know, loading up to go off somewhere else. I don't know if the bags can be picked up. They can. Do rubbish collection if I do rubbish collection. We come around the back to the parking at the pub. Got a little garden here with some bench seating, and we've got the plastic tables with the little covers. We've got a little ice cream stand for the kids and a play area, fencing around it. And then down the side of it, we've got the pub sell point, so you can use it as a sell point as well. Next to that, we've got the sweet shop with some parking. So the sweet shop's just there, with the sweet shop sell point behind that as well. Apartment buildings with parking out the front, and one of the office buildings just there with parking. It's all, you know, I tried to think of as much as I could, and I wanted to try and use everything, you know. No, I'm not sure what that was. That might have been the line. Yeah, it's the one thing I struggled with the most, I think, was the road marking lines. So as we come out here, a couple of the office buildings with a couple of the houses, we're parking at the front, put waste bins by the side of them, which placed quite nicely, and a scooter at the front. Out to the right, we've got a lookout, and this is what I love. We'll get down to it in a second. We've got a lookout, vehicle workshop, and then someone obviously living in their caravan at the workshop. But it's coming out here and looking out over the industrial complex. The pack is amazing. You can see the water jets. We're going to get down to that, but there's barrels and there's placeable vehicles and there's a bit of, you know, there's sheds and all of the industrial complex stuff. The big radio mast that pays out. I did a real kind of mix and match and everything. At least I tried to. So off to my right, we've got sawmill. We've got the wood chip sell point. We have got a load of the piles of logs, more of the vehicles, some of the shelters. We've got a fire point. We've got the direct sell wood chipper. I think I put down the bales one and a spinnery all here. This is a bit more of the kind of rustic stuff. I kind of placed it all together, but that's all there. Then over here, which I think I drove past, which I didn't mean to, I used some of the old sort of rusted stuff and made a little junkyard. For some reason, that was because if you build a lake, the boat's floating. I'm not sure why it is, but we've got a boat. So that's on a plinth. That's on a plinth. But yeah, so we've got a load of old rusted stuff here at the junkyard by the watchtower, caravan, and outside toilet. Dunny, is that what it's called? Australian? In the dunny. I was getting the wrong side. You think I'd know better? So yeah, bit of a junkyard. Then we'll head down the hill. Now this was all done on this field here, on Big Fields Farm. When I did the map tour on here, I didn't realise, when I said about the undulations and the big dip, I didn't realise how deep the dip was. So I started on one side of the map and thought what I need to do is level it, try and get it really flat. When I realised it was so deep, I thought, you know what, I'll just kind of use it as a landscaping feature. Now, as you can see, as I've already said, I'm not a map maker. We've got some fields off in the distance, and the castle, as we get a bit closer, might come into view. We're going to have to drive over there a little bit. As we come down the hill, we've got the biogas plant set up. So what I did use out of the standard game pack was the bunker silos. They're not part of the pack. I just put them on there because I wanted to have a kind of BGA set up. So we've got the biogas plant. That's your sell point of the biogas plant. Your digestate collections there with 2 digestate tank extensions. We've got some liquid storage over there with a couple of extensions. Well, you can just see the castle off in the background. I thought I'd leave it in the background as a kind of, you know, there's some rocks around it and that kind of thing. That's a feature, something to go and visit. And then I've used the large vehicle shelter, which is, when I said it was large, it is massive. Oh, no, this is done here, doesn't it? Skylight. When you want to launch whatever Thunderbird... Is it Thunderbird 1? I'm sure it's Thunderbird 1. Lights. Recognise that sound? That's my intro. My intro clip for my channel. Jim used it way back. How cool is that? So that's the large building. And then we come into all the industrial buildings. Now most of these are just placeables, but you know, and you can put them in any way you want or not use them at all. It's entirely up to you. So we've got all this industrialised stuff going on, you know. A few different bits placed. That's the big industrial root crop sell point. With the water jets cleaning stuff as it goes. Stuck a load of barrels down. Office buildings, semi-trailers. Various different vehicles parked up outside buildings where employees have come to work. The centrifuge and clarification systems. Just a bit of everything, you know. I just wanted to work out a way of doing it. That thing is massive, but it pays out so much. And not too expensively either. Not like the wind turbines that are like, you know, millions to buy. And then some of the shipping containers around the side. And I thought, you know, this was the only way I could think of doing 150 mods. There you go. That's one of the ones that opens. The others, I think, are all just closed ones, as far as I could tell. Yeah, to show it all off in a way that, you know, you could see it all and see how great it is. And you know, I know people say, "Oh, yeah, it's just because you're friends with Jim." No, I know this pack is a high slot count. I know a lot of people will say, "Well, I'm not going to use half that stuff, so I won't bother." For me, it's not just about the placeable buildings and decorations. It's the sell points. The amount of different sell points this gives you. That if you're on a map that doesn't have many and you want a bit more kind of price variation, there are so many different options available in this. And also the optimization. We get mods sometimes in the mods hub. I really didn't landscape that well, did I? We get some in the mods hub that it looks like a nice building, nicely detailed, and it's like 28, 30 something slots, you know. There isn't a single mod in this pack that's above 7 slots. Not one of them. And when you consider the detail on a load of these, what you get, including sell points and the pricing and all the rest of it, all for under 7 slots. Jim is a magician. He is a master at this. So take away from the fact I've known Jim for a long time and we're very good friends. It's a brilliant, brilliant pack. Can you make space for it? Personally, I would, but then it's a personal choice. I hope I've kind of showed everything as well as I could. Like I say, I wasn't sure how best to go about it, but it kind of shows in a roundabout way how it can all be used in some way, how you choose to use it, and that's the beauty of it, especially with the game with the landscaping tool. I know not every map allows for landscaping, not every map is particularly receptive to placeables. I know that can be an absolute nightmare on certain maps, but if you're on a map that does, it's another reason why I did think, oh, I'm going to jump back on No Man's Land. That'll be much easier because then when I landscape I can get some water as well. The problem is all of these mods are already on No Man's Land, so I couldn't have shown it because these are all kind of on there already. So there we go. That's the NML Placeables pack by Alien Jim. I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.